Hello.
Hi, everybody. I was thinking about how without this film project, you and I probably wouldn't have made it this far, which we've made it. I think we've gotten, not through the roughest part of our lives, but through the roughest part of maybe our relationship. I hope.
Yeah.
Just like
nice.
We're closer than we've ever been. We're becoming so unified in everything we do that we're going to be impervious, but that does, cool, thanks. Anyway, without the camera, I don't know how we would have gotten through this, this far, and just
it's hard to
in
imagine.
anything, we probably wouldn't have even tried to paint, or I was already painting.
Right.
We probably wouldn't have pursued a collaborative.
It's true, once you get a camera, it inspires all sorts of other things. It's like,
well, excuse me, for the project that we're doing, it's going to inspire everything, because it's about us being inspired people.
Yeah.
So we're going to pursue new things to show our different talents and creativity, and man, I'm thirsty.
yeah, oddly hungry. But
You're hungry?
I'm not. My stomach is playing tricks on me. I found these. Let's see.
Coolio.
Is that what you're doing? Okay. Did I find what, baby?
Nutty bars.
Oh.
Could they be in your...
They could be in my backpack, which is right in front of me, and I was just looking at it.
Yeah. Sunday, May 17th, honey? I think it's Sunday, May 17th. It's 12:50 in the afternoon. We were supposed to be at the school before noon so that we could get some stuff done and get to the plaza by 1. We're now on our way to the school, so we're just doing our best. Can't do any better than that. I mean, yesterday it took us hours and hours and hours to get done. Like, I sent one email to a bunch of people. I started a line on another email, saved it as a draft, and then I posted a couple things on Facebook, changed our profile picture, and worked on 2 clips and couldn't even post
that sounds
them.
like a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It doesn't to me. It's like, I went in intending to upload 20 clips, to make and upload 20 clips. Well, if I count all those individual Instagram ones, I'm doing about that.
Well, yeah, and then you made something very special yesterday, so I think...
What the hell is it with these bikes? Why are they taking up the road on a very narrow road? And I don't want to... Anyway, it's fine. Nobody was coming over the double yellow
It's just
line.
very uncomfortable. Makes everybody nervous. They should be nervous. They shouldn't be out there in the first place.
I don't understand it. I just don't. Are there no other roads to ride on that are less trafficked?
You'd have to go farther out, I guess.
Well, it is too bad. I mean, imagine driving up to Hyde Park. Remember how busy Hyde Park was?
Right.
It's like they're not going to get out of traffic, probably. There aren't as many roads out because it goes into the wilderness. There aren't lots of roads just going out in the middle of nowhere. So maybe they just feel like they don't have a choice. We better be really considerate of them. Well, they're here, so we better be considerate of them, you know? Those guys are going really fast. They're going as fast as I am about. But I'm going a little faster because I'm catching up to them. But they're going fast. How fast do you think they're going? I'm going 30. They might be going 20. What do you think? God, I don't like them going around them on this.
25, somewhere in there.
Well, they must not be because, well, I was going 30. Yeah, they're going.
Yeah, it's a menace, really. I mean,
I'm sure the bicyclists think we're...
Cars are a menace. I don't know.
Well, sure, cars are a menace, aren't they?
Well, cars are a menace. Yeah. They're everywhere, you guys. This is what we're talking about.
But what I mean is, like, I don't know, it's like, okay, I know a lot of bicyclists, or some bicyclists who would say, you know, like we have our own narrow perspective, and that we're not considering their perspective. And that a lot of these guys, they're suicidal, honey. They actually consider themselves martyrs if they die on the highway.
It's true.
Well, they do, honey. I mean, I'm being very serious. I think it is a religion for people, you know. It is a religion. And what a bizarre religion. Come on. There's no salvation in it. All you get is a vacation from the rest of your life for a while. And that's not salvation. That's a vacation.
This must be like...
It's an escape from reality, or an escape from the struggles of the world or the suffering of the world. But bizarrely, they are suffering along the way. But it's an easier kind of suffering than dealing with the pain and anguish of all living beings. But they might disagree. What do you think? Gosh, there's a lady going down the road and...
Okay.
Do you think it's a religion? Because I've heard people say it's like a religion to them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess a religion can be anything you make of it, like
If you think of that as a religion, it's a cult, honey.
Yeah, or like Harley riders, or people who play Magic the Gathering.
Well, if they make it into their god, yes,
maybe
that's
not,
what I mean.
Maybe not, oddly, of all those, maybe not people who play Magic the Gathering, I don't know, but, or let's see.
Why?
I don't, because I don't know.
No, I do think that people will tend to take anything and make it their god. It doesn't matter how absurd it seems to the rest of us. There are people in different countries who worship foxes, who worship, you know, like, I don't know what.
I just get the feeling that
just
people
like
who play
statues and
Magic have, then again, this is going to sound strange, but maybe more of a grip on reality than some other people may in some way. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
I think you might be
everything I'm
overestimating
saying
people who play
everything
Magic
is
the Gathering.
everything I'm saying is kind of disqualified.
Well, by me, I don't want to do that.
No. Even as it comes out of my mouth,
it all depends.
Weird.
Like, you can be into video games but not worship video games.
Right. Well, sure. And
you can be into science and not worship science.
Okay, so people could be into bicycling and not worship bicycling, or
but
jogging.
Why would you risk your life for something that you don't?
Oh, and your
base
great
your whole
example
life
is why would you consider yourself a martyr if you got run over while you're
a martyr is language used for religion.
Yeah, totally.
For the holy, not.
Okay, yeah. So there was that runner, that long distance runner that got killed on a highway in Utah. Not a highway, but a road, kind of like the one we were just on. You know. Yeah, I guess in certain circles he's spoken of with reverence. And, you know.
Well, sure, you'd think that people would speak with reverence of the dead. I mean, but do you mean as more than reverence? That's like normal for people to be reverent about somebody who's dead, isn't it?
Oh, maybe so. But, like, do they think he's like a god or a saint or something?
A saint who martyred himself for their religion. Their god is their...
Maybe so. I guess, you know,
bicycle.
I guess I don't really know. I guess I don't know how much people actually take cycling as a religion because I haven't hung out enough.
Well, I've heard the comparison made, honey.
Yeah. Okay.
On more than one occasion. And I've gone and watched films, local films about bicyclists. And they martyr themselves, honey. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
This is like...
Okay,
from an outside
perspective.
So you're
serious. I mean, that's, wow.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't say it if I weren't serious about it. Maybe I would. I don't know, but what I'm saying is,
you're not even just like speculating.
I'm not exaggerating either. No, and I don't know. I'm not a bicyclist,
Right.
so
But you've
I'm
seen-
an outsider looking at this and going, that looks like a weird, bizarre cult.
Yeah, and you've seen
That
films and
people,
stuff,
I've known
interviewing these
people who will go and drive for 20 miles a day or whatever on a bike, and that's normal. It's what they do every day, you know. And I don't know. There's one. I think then they can even take it to, well, we're saving the earth, we're saving the planet. Well, shit, yeah, that's my point. You're turning it into a religion. That
Right.
this religion will save the world, and it won't. Come on, even if we all rode bicycles, as long as we're shooting each other to death. And I don't know, we have an evil heart that's not being purified by pedaling, no matter how long we pedal. Yeah, it might clean up some of the air, but is it cleaning up our hearts? I mean, I don't know, maybe they would argue it was, but I'm not going to worship a bicycle. I don't worship a flag. I don't worship a person. I follow Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, the ultimate law of life, and that's what I worship. The law that says all people are equal and all people are of infinite value. I don't know. I see these weird religions everywhere I go now. Before I was oblivious to it. People around here worship art. Like, art is going to save us? Come on, this town is corrupt. These same people are totally unethical.
Right.
But then you'd say, well, that's true in religion. Right, because this worship of art is another religion that's warped. And it's warped, and the people at the top of the hierarchy are abusing its members. Does it make sense? I really agree. I really believe that stuff, but they're all going to think I'm nuts, but I don't care if they think I'm nuts. They should think I'm nuts. I am nuts. I decided that this morning when I woke up. I'm crazy because I can't be anything but crazy, honey. This is insanity. I'm insane. And it probably does mean that I'm sane. And in this world, you know, they say that an insane man, a sane man in an insane world appears insane.
Yeah.
That's why all those crazy people I've met in the mental institution, when they put me there calling me crazy, were also sane. I don't know, I'm silencing you, my sweetheart.
No, you're not, babe.
Well, I guess it's very obvious to me that that's a religion when people are... I mean, their whole family is out riding bicycles on a Sunday. Well, that sounds actually quite sweet, doesn't it? But I'm thinking of it as riding around town with a little basket of flowers. You're not risking your damn life to go for a fucking ride. And you're not gonna... It's for fun. It's not some thing that drives you relentlessly, you know. Of course, everything in our lives drive us, but that's because it's all about our religion.
I think it would be pretty weird if your whole life was centered around bicycling and you didn't do other things. Like you hung out with people who bicycled and all you did was bicycle all the time, and then when you were not bicycling, you talked about bicycling, and that'd be weird.
Well, I think that's what a lot of people do, but it kind of reminds me of that Eddie Murphy song.
Party all the time.
Well, bicycle all the time. Even in your sleep, you're gonna dream about bicycling. But same with people who worship video games, or worship science, or worship art, or worship a person, or I don't know. I mean, or a drug, or
Right.
or alcohol, or anything like that. Anything that becomes what we call in Buddhism our honsan, or our object of worship.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, it's very it's for everybody. It's just questions for everybody to think about. What do you really worship? And another thing that we haven't mentioned is we can worship other other people, well, like relationships. Like, you and I could probably be accused of having done that at different times, or maybe even all the time. We have a streak of that we have to fight against, trying not to worship one another. You know, that's really very incredibly unhealthy to worship a human being. And that's why so many human beings are held up to be worshipped. Famous people, stuff like that. Because it totally gets us misdirected from the truth, and then we're lost and easy to enslave, you know? I don't know. Does that make any sense, or is that all crazy shit?
Makes sense to me.
Me too. That's probably why we're crazy. Oh, do you...
Why we pure crazy? We're actually sane.
That's for them to decide, I guess. Oh, you want to tell them what we're going to do today, or? I feel like I totally interrupted you.
No,
I'm sure I did. I've probably been. I've gotten like a domineering streak came out lately. It's probably always been there, but I've been noticing it lately. Why? Is it because I haven't felt good, and that's kind of my go-to place whenever I feel vulnerable?
I don't know if that's in any way a fault.
Oh yeah,
I have a fault in that I have like totally. I have a passive streak, baby. Of just like kind of laying back and going, that's cool. I'd rather listen to my baby talk than I don't have to say anything. It's like chill. It's cool, dude.
You're kind of like a possum or a sloth, which I don't mean in a bad way.
Right. I mean,
They
it's
survive.
It's not all bad.
No.
I mean, I like it because it's enjoyable.
Sure, the sloth
but it's not all
must
good.
enjoy his life.
Like,
Mold grows on him because he moves so slowly, but they can take like a long time moving up a tree, huh? A sloth can.
That's cool.
In the
I think
rainforest.
that's cool.
Yeah, they grow mold on their backs because
Okay.
they're so slow that the mold grows onto them. Isn't that weird? But anyway.
I don't want to be that. See, that's it. I don't want to be that slow. That's the thing. That's
well, there's a time and a place for everything, you know, I suppose. And playing possum is great when you need somebody to just bat you around a little bit and leave you alone. I mean, that's what they do. That's what animals will go up to a possum, try to attack it. It plays dead. It doesn't play dead. It actually kind of like dies. Biologically, it shuts down all of its...
Really?
Yeah, it's not faking. It's just an instinctive response to trauma that it will freeze like that. And that's what human beings can... Okay, in the face of a trauma, a human will do, and probably any animal, that's my point, but human beings are animals. I don't know, I'm gonna go this way. Will fight, right? Like a bear attacking, let's say a cougar up in these mountains. If the cougar comes upon her cubs, right?
Yeah.
That's fight. Flight is if a cougar is about to attack a wild Mustang out here in these hills, that Mustang will run away.
Right.
And then I don't know a whole lot of examples of freeze, but I know the possum is one. So a human being or an animal, any animal, will, in the face of certain traumas, freeze. And that's why a lot of people are zombies. They have spent their life freezing until they're immobilized, huh? Haven't you, like those people in the audience of our puppet show? They have been frozen. They've become zombies, honey. And you put a play shark and a play whale up in front of them, and they freak the fuck out. They freeze, honey. For them, that's a trauma. I'm not sure why, honey. It makes me sad to think that 2 puppets could freak everybody the fuck out.
Don't you want park trades intact?
Yeah, that's
go
where I'm
around.
gonna go.
Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it. Would you mind turning that? See, here I am talking. What do you think? Have you had an experience of? I actually have had a lot of experience with freeze. I see myself as fight, occasionally flight, but a lot of times freeze. What I mean is, have you ever experienced freezing in the face of a trauma? Like maybe you see a car accident or something, and then you can't do anything. You're like so in so much shock you can't move. I've had that happen. It ended up okay because the guy was a motorcyclist, got in an accident, and I just like couldn't do anything. But other people helped him, and it ended up being fine and good. So. But like, do you have you ever like witnessed maybe a crime being committed?
Yeah, I've just seen a couple of things
or
where
a fight.
there was nothing to do but just kind of stand there slack-jawed and watch. You know, it's like, yeah,
Right.
it's kind of weird.
Yeah. No, it's not weird. That's my point. That's kind of actually a normal response, but that's why we have to overcome our shock and take action, you know, in life. But you have to understand that's a shock response. It's a response to shock, and that's why everybody at that puppet show totally went into shock mode, honey. Not everybody, because we have one person, we'll just say his name, Steven. He enjoyed it. And it's like, whoa. All these adults who are all freaked out by their so-called adults, they're probably like 19, some of them. Some of them are in their probably 70s, but... And I think some of the older people were more childlike, and some of the younger. It was across the board who still had their child accessible. What do you think? I'm talking too much, and I'm going to be quiet and let you talk about it.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it right now. I want to talk to my baby. You guys can't always be there for that, because, well, you can't. So there. But don't be sad. We'll come back later.